wala na ang Pangulong Duterte rito.
Yes.
Kaya moot and academic na to, useless, sabi nila. Sabi po namin sa aming sagot doon sa argumentong yon, pag yan pinatupad natin yung ganyang katwiran, ay bibigyan mo ng gantimpala ang isang illegal na akto. Sapagkat ang mangyayari niyan, pag merong kaso sa ibang bansa, ang isang Pilipino, isusuko na lang natin nang hindi tayo dumaraan sa proseso. Gagantimpalaan mo pa yan at hindi po maaaring gawin natin yan sapagkat meron tayong sariling batas dito sa ating bansa. Hindi po pwedeng sasabihin mo lang, wala na. Sinukor namin o tinakas na namin . Hindi po pwede yan. Otherwise, you will be rewarding, as we said in that petition, doon sa mga naggawa ng mali at illegal. Hindi po pwede yan.
ICC custody of former President Duterte does not render the petitions moot. In this connection, petitioner acknowledges that former President Duterte is currently under the custody of ICC, having been illegally surrendered by the Philippine government to the ICC on March 12, 2005, after the filing of the petition for habeas corpus. The respondents are therefore expected to argue that the petitions are moot and academic. On this score, the petitioner respectfully submits that the respondent cannot escape compliance with a writ of habeas corpus by simply claiming that former President Duterte is no longer in their custody. To allow the same would be to reward the respondents for their illegal and unconstitutional actions and their deliberate attempt to evade judicial review and correction by arrogating the role of competent judicial authority for themselves and proceeding with the forced surrender of the former president to the ICC despite the pending petitions before this honorable court that question the same. The respondents will no doubt claim difficulty, if not impossibility, to produce the former president. Yes, Attorney.
Siguro yung unang paragraph na binasa mo, explain muna natin. Kasi yung mga opisyalis na nakademanda doon sa petition for writ of habeas corpus, sinasabi nila na wala na ang Pangulong Duterte rito.
Yes.
Kaya moot and academic na to, useless, sabi nila. Sabi po namin sa aming sagot doon sa argumentong yon, pag yan pinatupad natin yung ganyang katwiran, ay bibigyan mo ng gantimpala ang isang illegal na akto. Sapagkat ang mangyayari niyan, pag merong kaso sa ibang bansa, ang isang Pilipino, isusuko na lang natin nang hindi tayo dumaraan sa proseso. Gagantimpalaan mo pa yan at hindi po maaaring gawin natin yan sapagkat meron tayong sariling batas dito sa ating bansa. Hindi po pwedeng sasabihin mo lang, wala na. Sinukor namin o tinakas na namin . Hindi po pwede yan. Otherwise, you will be rewarding, as we said in that petition, doon sa mga naggawa ng mali at illegal. Hindi po pwede yan. Ano yung binabasa mong pangalan?
Yes, pagpapatuloy ko po, Attorney, sa 14, the respondents will no doubt claim difficulty, if not impossibility, to produce the former president to this honorable court because they have surrendered him to the ICC. However, if this honorable court issues the writ of habeas corpus, as it should, the respondents, as representatives of the Philippine government, must be required to exercise its awesome powers as a sovereign government to secure the return of the former president from the ICC. Nothing less than the Philippine government's absolute best efforts to recover former President Duterte should be acceptable to this honorable court, considering the self-inflicted nature of any difficulties to be encountered by the respondents, their blatant violations of the Constitution, and the serious implications of national sovereignty.
Yan, sinasabi ho nila na mahirap, mahirap na ibalik ang presidente kasi wala na silang jurisdiction over ICC. Hindi pa pwedeng yan ang gagawin nilang dahilan. Sapagkat ang ating bansa ay isang sovereign country. Meron tayong kapangyarihan, meron tayong kalayaan, may sistemang panglegal. Meron tayong mga kakayahan, kapangyarihan upang gamitin natin, upang kunin uli natin ang isang Pilipino na mali ang pagsuko natin sapagkat kahit saan tingnan nyo, gaya ng mga paliwanag na natin, tingnan mo sa Ligang Batas, mali. Tingnan mo ang Rome Statute, mali rin ang ginawa nila. Tingnan mo Extradition Treaty, mali pa rin. Tingnan mo yung 59 provision nila, mali pa rin. Kaya kahit saan mo tingnan, mali talaga. Kaya, since nagkamali sila, kailangan gumawa sila ng paraan. At huwag nilang sabihin na hindi namin kaya, alam po ninyo, gaya ng paliwanag ko, mga ilang beses na rin, meron na hong mga pagkakataon kung saan ang ICC ay walang magawa. 2 weeks ago, meron pong inaresto yung Italian government sa pakiusap ng ICC ng isang foreign national. Hindi ho Italiano ang inaresto, isang dayuhan sa kanila. Sapagkat nakiusap ang ICC, inaresto nila dahil merong crime against humanity demanda. So, ibinigay nila sa ICC. Subalit, 1 week after pong maisuko nila ito, natuklasan nila, hindi pala sinunod yung batas ng Italian government sa pag-aresto at pagsuko. Kaya ang ginawa nila, since mali ang prosedimento sa pagsusuko, ay kinuha muli nila. Nagpadala ng eroplano ang Italian government, eroplano ng gobyerno ng Italiano, at kinuha muli sa ICC. Wala hong magawa ang ICC. Tinatanong ng reporter yung Italian government. Sabi niya, buti pumayag itong ICC. Paano niya nakuha? Sabi niya, hindi sila mga Diyos. Kami ang Diyos dito sa aming bansa. Kami ang may kapangyarihan. May sarili kaming kasarinlan. Kaya kinuha namin muli. That's one. Another is, ito very recent, just before the Holy Week. Meron di ba may patakaran si Presidente Trump na yung mga illegally staying sa Amerika, pinatatanggal niya, pinaalis niya. And one of them, isang, kung hindi tayo nagkakamali, national ng El Salvador. Tinanggal, binalik sa El Salvador, pinakulong, sinuko, dineport. Nagdemanda ngayon. Sabi niya, mali ho. Mali ang illegal yung ginawa. Nagbista sila. Sabi ng hukuman ng Amerikano, mali, hindi po pwede yan. Pwede tayo magpatanggal pero sundin natin ang batas natin dito. Kaya inutusan ng gobyerno, ibalik niyo yan. Ang ginawa nila, nag-apila sa US Supreme Court. US Supreme Court. Ano sabi ng Supreme Court? Hindi po pwede. Meron tayong batas. Kailangan sundin natin. Sapagkat mali yan, kailangan itong gobyernong ito i-facilitate ninyo. Ayusin ninyo yan para makabalik ang dineport sa El Salvador. Ayan kita nyo na. Ito, dayuhan ito dayuhan sa Amerikano na gustong kunin, pinababalik. Dayuhan to kriminal pa. Pareho din sa Italian government, dayuhan ng Italiano, pero at kinuha. Bakit naman sa atin, mamamayang Pilipino mismo, biro nyo yun. Kaya hindi yun dahilan para sabihin na wala na ho sa amin, wala kaming kakayahan, hindi po pwede yan. Yan.
Nalino. Pakalino, pagpapaliwanag niyo po, attorney, dahil ito, malaking pupukaw na naman sa isipan ng mga kababayan natin, di ba? How much more nga, attorney, bagaya po ng inyong nabanggit na mismong Pilipino ang may kakayahan na bawiin ang ating former president dahil siya mismo ay isang Pilipino rin. Attorney, sa atin pong pagpapatuloy sa 15, to be sure, the fact that the former president is under ICC custody does not render the consolidated petitions moot. Indeed, he is still illegally detained on the basis of a warrant of arrest issued by a court with no jurisdiction and an arrest made in violation of the very procedures of the Rome Statute requires, among other grounds. Sa 16, while this honorable court may not have jurisdiction over the ICC, the respondents certainly fall under its jurisdiction. The respondents can therefore be commanded to seek the return of the former president from the ICC. This honorable court's ruling and guidance are necessary whether the petitions are moot or not.
Puntahan po natin yung portion na yun. Ang sinasabi po nila, wala na, moot and academic. Kasi wala na nga.
Yes.
Hindi po pwedeng maging moot and academic. Kasi sinasabi nila, wala naman tayong jurisdiction sa ICC. Hindi naman yung ICC pinag-uusapan yung mamamayang Pilipino na isinuko mo sa kanila.
Correct.
Ang may jurisdiction ang ating mga hukuman doon sa illegal na ginawa ninyo. Sapagat ang saligang batas ay binigyan ng kapangyarihan ang hukuman na litisin at idetermina kung ang isang hakbang o akto na ginawa ng isang opisyal ng gobyerno o ng gobyerno ay illegal o hindi. Yun no, may jurisdiction tayo doon kaya it can never be moot and academic. Yan ang sinasabi namin. Sapagkat yung illegal na akto ay hindi makakatakas doon sa katawan ng gumawa. Kahit saan ka magpunta, susundin ka. Illegal ang ginawa mo rito, kahit saan ka pumunta, illegal pa rin yan. Hindi mo maaaring sabihin, wala na ako sa Pilipinas eh. Yan.
Okay, maraming salamat. Marami pong salamat, attorney, sa atin pong pagpapatuloy. In any event, this honorable court has on multiple occasions decided cases that have become moot. In fact, in the case of Toyoto versus Ramos, GR number L69270, October 15 of 1985, this honorable court ruled on the petition for habeas corpus despite the subject's release. If a ruling was deemed necessary, then even with the subjects no longer in custody, there is even stronger reason for this honorable court to rule now, given former President Duterte's continued illegal detention. 18. In the matter of the petition for writ of habeas corpus, Data versus De Lima, on September 8, 2020, this honorable court held that it is not precluded from deciding cases otherwise moot if first, there is a grave violation of the Constitution, second, the exceptional character of the situation and the paramount public interest are involved, third, when the constitutional issue raised requires formulation of controlling principles to guide the bench, the bar, and the public, and fourth, the case is capable of repetition yet evading review. 19. All such conditions for this honorable court's exercise of judicial power are present. The respondents have committed grave violations of the Constitution, including the denial of former President Duterte's right to due process of law under Article 3, Section 1, the violation of separation of powers and appropriating judicial power for themselves in contravention of Article 8. All such conditions for this honorable court's exercise of judicial power are present. The respondents committed grave violations of the Constitution, including the denial of former President's right due process of law under Article 3, Section 1, the violation of separation of powers by appropriating judicial power for themselves in contravention of Article 8, Section 1. The failure to comply with its prime duty to serve and protect Filipinos under Article 2, Section 4, and the failure to comply with the duty to place paramount consideration on national sovereignty and national interest in dealings with foreign bodies under Article 2, Section 7. 20. This case obviously involves a highly exceptional situation and paramount public interest, not only because it involves a beloved former president of the Republic of the Philippines, but also because of the serious implications on our country's sovereignty and even on ordinary Filipino citizens. For instance, those who are subject of an international criminal police organization or Interpol Red Notice. 21. The constitutional issues raised definitely requires formulation of controlling principles to guide the bench, the bar, and the public.
So, muna dyan. Ang sinasabi po namin, dahil nga sabi nilang mutin academic at sinasabi namin hindi, kahit ipagpalagay na mutin academic, sabi po namin, kailangan pa rin ang hukuman ay magbigay ng desisyon dito upang magkaroon ng mga ruling na mapapakinabangan ng lahat. Sapagkat meron pong mga desisyon ng Korte Suprema na kahit na moot and academic na, di ba, na-release na, hindi na nakakulong, dinidismiss na. Sabi ng Korte, hindi. Merong mga exceptions to the rule. Like for instance, kung itong isyong ito ay grave violation of the Constitution, isang lantarang paglabag sa salingang batas ang issue. Pangalawa, ang sabi ng Korte Suprema, kung ang issue rito ay tumatawag o pumapasok sa tinatawag na public interest. At talaga naman may public interest dito dahil ang pinag-uusapan dito isang Pilipinong isinuko mo, iniresto mo na nga illegal, kinidnap mo pa, pinakulong mo pa sa ibang bansa. At sabi ng Korte, pangatlo, kailangan daw merong mga prinsipyo na ilalabas ang Korte Suprema para maging giya at hindi na maulit ang mga ganito. Lalong-lalo na itong ginawa sa Pangulong Duterte ay maaaring maulit na muli at ito'y makakatakas na naman sa judicial scrutiny kasi pero mo, di-dismiss kasi mutin academic na o ginantipalaan mo na pagkatapos wala ka pang magawa ay hindi po pwede yun. Kaya sabi namin sa mga binigay na exception ng Korte Suprema ay makikita na pasok ang kaso ng Pangulong Duterte. Yung
Salamat.
last two paragraphs mo.
Yes. We can go 23, 24, attorney. In this case, or pagpatuloy ko po attorney ang 21 natin. Okay. The constitutional issues raised definitely requires formulation of controlling principles to guide the bench, the bar, and the public concerning the observation of due process in the implementation of a warrant of arrest from the ICC or other foreign bodies where the Philippines has no treaty obligation to arrest and surrender the accused, as admitted by the DOJ spokesperson Clavano in the same accused on the same DZBB interview. Ito po ay bago para sa ating lahat. Ito po ay novel, kumbaga, para sa ating lahat. Just from the reaction of even the experts ng ICC, pati sila nangangapa. And they even said that this is unchartered. 22. This honorable court must step in to provide guidance because the DOJ's oppressive procedure is certainly inconsistent with the fundamental tenets of our Constitution. As discussed above, this honorable court's intervention is even made more necessary because of the belief of the DOJ through ASEC Lavano that in the end of the day, ang magsasabi talaga ng tamang interpretation ay yung mga prosecutors sa ICC dahil hindi naman po ang nagbuo or tayo ang nagbuo ng rules na ito. 23. This case is certainly capable of repetition yet evading review. In fact, in her press briefing this morning, March 14, 2025, the Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary Claire Castro announced that the Philippine government will also cooperate with Interpol for the arrest of Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa once his ICC warrant of arrest is endorsed. Last one, 24. This honorable court's intervention and relief is therefore as urgent and necessary now that it was when the V. Duterte petition was filed, whether or not the petitions are moot.
Yan ang sinasabi natin kanina na kailangan talagang magkaroon ng mga rulings, mga deklarasyon ng Korte Suprema upang maging maliwanag ang gagawin ng isang gobyerno kaugnay sa mga ganitong kalakaran kung saan ang isang mamamayan ay dinidemanda sa dayuang tribunal o tribunal. At sinasabi po natin doon, lalong-lalo pa nga, na this involves yung tinatawag na paghihiwalay ng mga sangay, separation ng branches of government. Kasi kung matatandaan po ninyo, doon sa Section 59 o Article 59 ng Rome Statute, sinasabi doon na kung meron kayong aarestuhin at meron silang warrant of arrest na in-issue, kinakailangan yung warrant of arrest na yon ibigay mo doon sa lokal na hukuman ng bansa kung saan naroon yung gusto mong ipa-aresto. At ipadaan mo doon sa tinatawag na competent judicial authority. At ito'y napakalaga, sabi namin sa petisyon, sapagkat itong executive, yung Department of Justice, inagaw na ang kapangyarihan ng hukuman. At sila sila daw yung judicial competent authority. Biro niyo yun, nangagaw na sila ng isang sangay, sila'y nasa executive. Napakaliwanag ng hukuman, or rather ng saligang batas, ng kapangyarihan ng hukuman ay sa kanila lang ibinibigay to determine whether an act of an official or an institution or an instrumentality or a government is illegal or not. Sila lang yun. Sila ang hukuman, hindi itong DOJ, sila lang yung tinatawag na prosecutorial. Sila lang ang uusig. Hindi sila ang hatol. Biro mo, sila na ang umuusig, sila pa nag-aresto, sila pa hatol. Ibig sabihin, kangaroo court. Hindi ubre yan. Yan po ang sabi namin sa petisyon.